Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Tech Gamers World. In this video, I'm going to show you how to get Shadow to rejoin your party in the World of Ruin and Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster on the Nintendo Switch. So let's get it started. So like I said, this is Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster being played on a Nintendo Switch. This is also known as Final Fantasy III Pixel Remaster or just Final Fantasy III in the United States. So the objective here is to get Shadow back. So we are in the World of Ruin, and we have just navigated through Daryl's tomb, and with the help of Setzer, got our hands on a new airship, the Falcon. So up to this point, the game has been mostly linear. Now that you have the airship, you're free to go wherever you want in the World of Ruin. I like to get Shadow first because he is one of my favorite characters in this game. So to recap Shadow's story, in the World of Balance, Shadow was this elusive character who would sometimes join us, help our party, and then split whenever he wanted to, whenever it was convenient or things got too inconvenient for him. We found him the last time on the floating continent high above the World of Balance while we were trying to stop Kefka from his plans to destroy the planet. While up there, Shadow helped us and essentially saved our lives. So while you're running to escape the World of Balance after Kefka pushes the statues, you have a time limit. What you have to do is wait until that time limit is almost gone. At the very end, when it asks you to jump, you have to say, no, let's wait. You have to wait until like 10 seconds left or 6 seconds left for Shadow to hop with you and come down to the airship. If you don't wait that long and you leave, Shadow will lose his life on the floating continent, and you can never get him back in your party. So, we did that. We waited for Shadow, and he jumped down onto the airship with us right before it was torn in half, and all members of our party were scattered around what is now known as the World of Ruin. So a quick status check here. We have Celeste, Sabin, Edgar, and Setzer in our party. Now, like I said, we got the new airship from Daryl's tomb, which is right here, just a little bit west of Coliseum. We are on the northwestern continent here. So, let's go ahead and head over to start the process of getting Shadow. So the first thing you need to do is get in your airship. Now, you need to head towards the Veldt. Now, it's a little hard to see because I'm blocking some of the map, but if you look right below my beautiful picture, you'll see a continent on the east. That continent is where the Veldt is on the World of Ruin. And there's a little yellow dot right below me. That is our target destination. And we're going to go ahead and head that way now. So let's go ahead and go. Once we are ready to go, we'll go ahead and close the map here. Actually, maybe we'll leave it on. And head over, passing over the Serpent's Trench right here. And there is a village. Keep going past Doma Castle and over to the Veldt. Now here is the Veldt. If we go to the southern portion of it, you'll see a mountain here. Now this cave looks familiar to the one that we used to get on the Serpent Trench, because the Serpent Trench was a part in the World of Balance in Sabin's scenario. As you can see now, the Serpent Trench is actually exposed. It's that U-shaped long island right below us there. Can't really, I guess it technically is an island because there's no other way to get to it other than one spot. So, yeah, technically an island. So what you want to do here is go ahead and save. Throw down a save here. Now, this cave is not overly difficult, so as long as you're, relatively decent strength, I'm at pretty much level 30, you should be fine. Actually, on the subject to that, let's go ahead here and do a little bit of curing. Alright, so let's go ahead and navigate through. Here we run into Interceptor. It looks like he wants us to follow him. So I'm going to go ahead here and turn off the super speed running. So twin scythes. Let's see how these guys do against fire. And flash. Flash not so good. So we'll stick with drill or chainsaw. Alright. So we're just gonna work our way through this cave here. So safe to assume we're going the right way because the interceptor went this way. And we run into some people here. They're talking about when the three of us go hunting on the Veldt, we always run across a boy dressed in hides. So I bet you can guess who that is. That is Gaw. So we'll get Gaw later. We're focused on Shadow. So I'm not a big fan of Setzer. I just keep using Slot with him all the time. I never really liked him in my party, so I've never really built up any of his skills. He's got just basic weapons, basic armor, no real magic. I have an Esper attached to him, but he's not really a strong member of my party. So what you want to do now is come this way and come over to that treasure chest we can see over to the left. Let's try Rising Phoenix. See how that does. Better off with Pummel. Raging Fist. In the Final Fantasy III version, it's called Pummel. Yeah, let's stick with that. This should take care of this guy. There we go. Alright. So let's go ahead here and do a quick heal. And check our abilities. So Celeste is done with Fenrir. Let's give her Zonasika. Why not? Sabin is done with Carbuncle. Let's give him... Let's let him finish Drain. He's still learning Raise. Good. And he's still on Unicorn. Alright, so like I said, I don't worry too much about Setzer. This is Death Warden. Okay. So this guy is a undead. So what you want to do is use a Phoenix Down on them. Just line them up with Phoenix Downs. And there you go. Super easy. We get a weapon for Sabin. Tiger Fang. Alright. So now to continue on, go through this door right here. And you pop out right here. Just cut through. And continue down. Now we're below those guys. Coming through this door. Now here is one of the most important parts of this cave. What you need to do is fight off this guy here. So we'll talk about it a little bit while we fight off this guy. So what we need to do is get a special weapon that's hidden inside this cave. If you don't get this weapon, you cannot recruit Shadow to be in your party. Oops. There we go. So what you want to do is come down through this door, navigate down these staircases, and get this treasure chest. This is the Ichigeki. It's a ninja sword. In the Final Fantasy III game, the non-pixel remaster, I believe it was called the Striker. So what you want to do now is flip this switch to move that rock. We're going to take these guys out here. Chocobo Stampede. Reaching Fist. There we go. Defeated. Edgar learned Raise. Alright, so continuing along. We want to come down through this door. We can see Shadow. So again, back to what I said before. If you get to this point and you don't see Shadow there and you see Realm, you know that Shadow didn't survive the Floating Continent event and you cannot ever get him. So you should see Shadow there if you did the events properly. Back attack here. Take this guy out here. Alright, let's use Celeste's abilities to heal up here. I know there's a save point coming up. Alright, so when you get into here, basement 1, you want to come up here to the save point. Highly recommend. Throw down a tent. Let your party members rest a little and recharge. Alright. So let's go ahead here and throw down a save. Alright, so we are ready to continue on. See how quick we can take this guy out. Alright, now, I want to show you something here. Let's go on to Celeste real quick here. And let's go to Equip. Now, if you're like me and you have Celeste equipped with the ultimate weapon, I highly recommend you change it to a real sword for this fight, and now you'll see why. Because we want her the ability to use the runic to absorb magic. Because this guy we're going to fight here throws some pretty hard magic. So there is Shadow. He looks like he is unconscious. Interceptor there. These wounds are awful. And we're getting jumped. And here is the boss fight on the Cave of the Veldt, the Behemoth King. Now, what I want you to do is use Celeste's runic at all times. Sabin, just use your attacks. Setzer, just use slots over and over. Now, if you keep using Celeste's runic, whenever the Behemoth King casts magic, he will not be able to hit you with it because Celeste will absorb it. You'll see what I mean as soon as he throws down some magic. She will at some point. There we go. See, we absorb Holy. Essentially saved somebody's life there. If you just keep up that pattern, he makes this fight so much easier. doing, rinse and repeat this procedure. Oh, Celeste did not absorb that. That's alright. Okay, so when you defeat him for the first time, it says something's coming from behind. And we're going to switch sides, and another monster will appear. So he's the undead version of the Behemoth King, and it's actually super easy to beat. I'll show you here. The second you get somebody who can actually do something, go ahead and throw a Phoenix down on the Behemoth King. It will cause 9999 damage and defeat him. There you go. We have beat the Behemoth King in the cave on the Veldt. And now, we get to see what happened to Shadow. So we can't do anything for these wounds here. Let's fly to Thamasa on the double. So a quick story before we do this. The reason you see that text is because that text is generic. If you leave Shadow alive, you find Shadow here, as we did, and take him back to Thamasa because of his connection to Thamasa from the world of balance. If you find Realm here, you take her back to Thamasa because of her connection to Thamasa. So the developers, to save on RAM, memory, and processing, kept the generic text the same so that no matter which character you get, the story plays out linearly. So we're going back to Thamasa. Actually, I haven't been to Thamasa yet in the world of ruins, so technically I'm not going back there. Going there. That looks like Zozo back there. There's Thamasa. And it looks like we're in Strago's house. And we see, looks like Shadow is dreaming. So spoiler alert, folks. So you came to try and stop me from leaving, but I'm sorry, but I can't turn back, boy. This is Interceptor, the dog, and this is Shadow before he became Shadow. Stay here with my daughter. You both deserve to live in peace. So if you haven't figured out why Interceptor has a connection to Realm, it's because Realm is Shadow's daughter. Realm doesn't know that, but Shadow and Interceptor obviously know that. They never fully explain why he left Realm there. But all we can do now is wait. Rest will help. Okay, so we need to go ahead and heal up here. So the best place to heal up in Thamasa is at the inn, because it costs 1 gold. So let's go ahead and do that now. And I'll show you how to actually get Shadow in your party. Alright, this will bring everybody back to life. Alright, so let's go ahead up here and talk to Shadow again, and you'll see what happens. If you talk to Shadow, it'll say, hey, how are you feeling? Say, if only a scratch, I've had worse, and you've got this guy watching him. And that is all he will say. You can repeat this forever. So to actually get Shadow to join your party, we now have to head up to the Coliseum. So let's go ahead and leave Thamasa. Okay, so we are outside Thamasa. Let's get in the airship here. Now, we are in the southeastern part of the world. So what we want to do is head north to the Coliseum, northwest. The Coliseum is in the top left corner of the world. Now, because this is a circular world, planet, you can just go around. I like to take the scenic route, and we'll follow the Serpent Trench a little bit here. And then fly over South Figaro. Figaro Castle's right there. So you want to head up to right here. There is the Coliseum. Now, you need to have that weapon found in the cave to get this part. If you didn't get that weapon, whether it's called the Ichigeki or the Striker, go back and get it. So let's go ahead here and save. And go ahead into the Coliseum. And now what you need to do is come up here and talk to the NPC, or the non-playable character, blocking the door, and say, he'll say, care to fight. You'll say, with pleasure. You have to bet an item. The stronger the item you bet, the more you get in return. So, in this case, we want to bet the Ichigeki. Now, when you do that, you're going to fight, lo and behold, Shadow. Now, somehow, Shadow managed to get from Thamasa to the Coliseum while we were in the only airship in the world. So, think about that one for a minute. So we'll pick a guy to fight him with, and this is an automated fight, so you can't do anything. We'll use Edgar. And here we go. That's a smart move by Edgar, slowing down there. So just keep repeating, let this just play itself out. He'll keep repeating his attacks, and at some point Shadow will fall. Assuming Edgar doesn't die here, do something stupid. Just keep attacking, dude. As you can see, Shadow's getting weaker. One more hit should take care of him. And there we go. So once you beat Shadow, you get the Ichigeki back, or the Striker. And as you can see, we're here talking to Shadow, confused on how he got here. We ask him to join our party, and he agrees. And now Shadow has joined our party. So let's go ahead and go back out and go into the airship. And actually get Shadow in our party. So if you remember, all the characters hang around inside the airship. You can only have maximum of 4 characters in your party. So if you talk to Shadow, you can change party members. So I'm going to set my final party for the game already because I love this party. And you can argue with me on the comments, prove me wrong, but I think this is a formidable party. And there it is. Actually, you know what? We'll change it up. We'll make Shadow the lead. And there we go. Shadow is now in our party. So to recap, we started out outside Daryl's tomb, where we acquired the airship with the help of Setzer. We then flew over to the Veldt and navigated through the cave on the Veldt, acquired the Ichigeki, rescued Interceptor and Shadow from the Behemoth King, brought Shadow back to Thamasa, where we saw a dream, where we learned that he may have been from Thamasa and left his daughter there, who turns out to be Realm. We then went to the Coliseum and fought Shadow, defeated him, and then he joined our party. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please drop it down below, and I will do my best to get it answered. And as always, please click that like button and subscribe to Tech Gamers World. I'm going to have new and exciting content coming soon. Thanks a lot, everybody, and I will see you around. Keep on gaming.